Hey everyone, today's focus is going to be on a little more advanced dimensioning tools, and specifically with this part number 8, we're going to be talking about something that's called fully defined. We are going to be using extruded cut, which we talked about in the previous video, but we're going to be looking more specifically at these dimensions that you see up here in the top view in regards to this circle. So first, fully defined. What this means is that everything in the sketch has been dimensioned. And this is something that we have been doing. Obviously, we've been making sure that everything's dimensioned. But today, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. And down here is where it gets a little more important. It says, this includes size and location. Now the size portion of it, we've been doing that. If we draw a circle, we determine how big it is. If we do a rectangle, we dimension how big it is. But this other bit, location, now this is something that is going to be kind of new to us today. And that's kind of the main focus of this video. And it's going to be these location dimensions. So I've already built a cube that we see right here. And so I've already built this basic cube. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this circle out. So I'm going to go extruded cut. I'm going to select the top face. And then I'm going to draw the circle. Now, before I start dimensioning it, doing my dimensions, I think a nice thing that a lot of people do is to kind of change this view. I like to be in more of a flat two-dimensional view. So you could go up here to where it says View Orientation, or you can hit the space bar. And you should get this little glass cube. If you don't have the glass cube, you might have to select this little button right up here. And I'm just going to click on this top plane. So now I'm kind of zoomed in, and it's going to make it a little easier because it matches with this drawing. And I'm also going to zoom in on these dimensions here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this 0.75 dimension right up here. This is probably the easiest one to do. And this is the diameter. And you can see by this little symbol right up here, that is the symbol for diameter. So that's how big the circle is. And for this dimension, all I have to do is click on the edge of the circle. That's it. So let's do that real quick. So I'm going to go Smart Dimension. And I'm just going to click on the edge of the circle, scoot away from the part a little bit, and click again, and I can put in 0.75. Okay, so the size of the circle has been determined. Okay, it is 0.75 in diameter, but you may have noticed that these lines are still blue. So we know whenever we've included all of our dimensions, the lines eventually turn black, but our lines are still blue. And the reason for that is because this circle, we don't really know where it is located at. What I mean by that is this circle, I can move it all over the place. Okay, so I can move this circle up and down, and I can also move it left and right. So what we need to do is add in a few more dimensions. We're going to need 2 more dimensions. One of them is going to stop the circle from moving up and down, which is our vertical location. And then another dimension is going to stop this circle from moving left to right, which is our horizontal location. And with this part, if we do those 2 dimensions, what it will do is it will put that circle right in the center of that part. So if we look at these numbers, we're going to start with this 0.75 over here. And if we take a look at these little arrows kind of pretty much tell you what to click on. So it goes from the center of the circle all the way to this left edge of the part. So it's actually going to be 2 clicks. Unlike this one where we just click the edge of the circle, this one we're going to have to make 2 clicks. Now, the arrow is pointed at the center of the circle, you don't have to click the center of the circle. You could click the edge of the circle and you will get the same result. So let's try that. So I'm going to go Smart Dimension. And like I said, I could click the center of the circle if I want to, or I could click the edge. I usually click the edge because it's a little bit faster. So I'm going to click the edge of the circle, and you're going to see a number is going to pop up. Okay, but we're not done. We have one more thing we need to click on. I'm going to go to the left side of this part, and you see it's going to turn orange, and I'm going to click on this edge. Now there's one little thing you got to be careful about. You'll see there's a little yellow dot in the middle of this orange line, and that's the midpoint of this line. And for what we're doing, we do not want to click on that little yellow dot. If we do, we could get some issues. So for now, we want to avoid clicking on that yellow dot. So I'm just going to click this edge, and we see we get kind of this new dimension where you can see it goes from the center of the circle all the way to that left edge. And I'm going to click again, and I can now type in my number, so 0.75. Now if I take a look at the circle, what you'll see is the circle cannot move left or right. Okay, it can only move up and down. You see, before we could move the circle all over the place, but now the circle only moves left to right. We cannot move it up and down. And it can't move left or right because of this dimension right here, because we determine the horizontal location. So it cannot move left or right. So we still have one more dimension, and that is going to be from the circle to the bottom edge of the part. And this is what's called the vertical location. This will prevent the circle from moving up and down. So let's do that. So I'll go Smart Dimension, and I'm going to go Circle, and then I'm going to click on the bottom edge of the part. Once again, I'm not going to click that little yellow dot. And I'm going to just click this bottom edge, and we get our dimension. And let's click one more time, 0.75. And what you'll notice is our lines turn black, meaning that we've included all of our dimensions, which means that this sketch is fully defined. Okay, we have determined everything in the sketch. We've determined the size of the circle with this dimension right over here. We've determined the horizontal location with that dimension, and we've also determined the vertical location with that dimension. So there's nothing else that we could do to this sketch. So we could go ahead, we can exit out of our sketch, and if you remember, we clicked Extruded Cut. Okay, so we can see it's going to cut through the part, and the height of the part is 0.75, so we know that this circle is going to cut all the way through that part. If you want to be certain, you could go to where it says blind, and you could just click through all. And what that means is it'll just go all the way through the part no matter what. So I'm going to green check, and just to make sure, let's rotate around, and we can see that it did cut all the way through the part. And if you missed any dimensions, or if you typed in a wrong number, if you just click on the feature, you will see these numbers will pop up, and you could easily click on those and then change those dimensions. So that is fully defined. Everything in the sketch has been dimensioned. And the key thing, like I said earlier, is that it's all about these location dimensions. We're not just dimensioning how big our shapes are, but we also have to determine exactly where they are on that part. So that is pretty much part number 8. And you guys have a great day.